Field here in Seattle, Washington.
Tonight, it's our first Monday night game of the new season, and we've got a good one coming up between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks. First of two here on a Monday night, the opener for these two teams as we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
From the set.
And right away, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And now off to the races down the right side. The 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. One play, 75 yards.
And the Seahawks are on the board here first in the season opener.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 7-0. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Last time, they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously, the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Here's Wilson.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
And 21 yards there as they convert on third.
Oh, that's a big let off there on third down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a first down, but for big yardage as well.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams.
And he's got it to about the 40. These fans here in Seattle getting the chance to see Russell Wilson play his first game for a franchise other than theirs. In Russell's 10 seasons in a Seahawk uniform, he went 104, 53-1 in the regular season, threw for over 37,000 yards, almost 300 touchdowns. A Pro Bowler 9 of his 10 seasons with the Seahawks, and of course led them to victory over, ironically, the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 48.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 29, Smith. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Throwing now is Geno. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
First down by Noah Fant. You're reminded watching him play that he's one of the most athletic tight ends we saw coming out of college in recent years. Every route and every catch can be turned into a bigger play with what he can do as an athlete in the open field. A nice big play from him there for the first down.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
On 1st and 10, Smith. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Throwing again is Smith. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
They find some open field here. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle.
Ken Walker
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
connects on the PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no...
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Jonathan Abram picks it.
And the Seahawks are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Working with 2nd and 5 now. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Now Geno. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. 54 yards. And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 21-10. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. But for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the... He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
throwing now. Wilson on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. 21-0 our score after one.
Second down and 7.
To throw is Wilson. Open man is Ross, complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They go back to the ground with Williams. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Mitchell will take it in. Touchdown, Denver.
Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Smith. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Now a 1st down throw, it's Smith.
Throw out wide to Walker. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Now a man who moved up the depth chart with the retirement of Chris Carson. Here's Rashad Penny.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Geno now to throw.
He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
From the red zone now, Smith. This will be caught just inside the 10. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now to the ground, here's Walker. 57 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Ready? Cowboy 80.
Walker.
And he stopped immediately there. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Touchdown, Seahawks.
Will Dissly. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Seahawks have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, here's Mitchell.
The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. They go play action now. Wilson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Boye Mafe. That is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Play action. Now Wilson. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. On 2nd down, Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting it once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we reach halftime here at our first Monday Nighter of the season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Going deep downfield for Ross. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by David Long. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
19 tight.
To throw is Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Nice call by the defense there on third down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Wilson now to throw on third down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Good foot.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, 73 yards. And the Broncos' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. The Smith's throw into the hands of Fan. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 32-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. To a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 32-yard line. Throwing now is Geno. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. He's making quite a splash here in his NFL debut.
Well, he was advertised as being NFL ready, and both you and I tend to arch an eyebrow a little bit when we first hear that, but I think that they were right about this one.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Here's Smith. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and it's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Touchdown! Tyler Lockett from 19 yards away, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point up and through by Myers, and the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession. That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They go play action with Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Fourth down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. The kick by McManus is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. 85 yards rushing for him now here in week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign. On 1st and 10, Smith. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
From the 50, it's Smith. He lets it fly for Lockett. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Seahawks. Tyler Lockett. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Play action. It's Wilson. Going deep downfield for Ross. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tariq Woolen picks it. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you want...
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Caden Stearns. And the Broncos are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this is...
And now here's another interception.
Tariq Woolen picks it. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
They'll try the right side here with Penny. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Wilson. Going deep downfield for Ross. It got his man complete.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
A huge play there for Denver. 42 yards.
Pete Carroll none too pleased with that last call. He's going to throw out the challenge flag. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Throwing is Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Boye Mafe now with his 2nd sack here on opening night.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? 2nd sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get 1. That's memorable. 2? Hello.
Now, he dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen? Probably not.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down.
He'll get that complete to Alberto.
And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest. And they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Now Gino. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Penny. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here with Penny. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They snap it to Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Throwing again here, Wilson. Open man, and again it's Sutton. And he's going to get this down near the 25. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They go play action now. Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Smith going to throw it.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Play action. Now Wilson.
And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy.
A 15-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the fourth quarter, and now can really take some time off the clock. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Penny on the counter. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Smith now to throw. And that is incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.